In the ancient kingdom of Babylon, where golden statues shined brighter than the sun, a young Israelite boy named Daniel was taken captive. But Daniel wasn't ordinary. His eyes carried wisdom far beyond his age, and his heart was rooted in God. When King Nebuchadnezzar chose the brightest captives to serve in his palace, Daniel was selected. The king offered them the richest meals from his table: wine, roasted meats, sweet breads. But Daniel felt a tightening in his spirit. He whispered to his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, "We cannot defile ourselves. We belong to God." They asked the palace official for simple vegetables and water instead. The guard laughed, "You'll grow weak." But Daniel replied calmly, "Test us for just 10 days. 10 days later, Daniel and his friends stood healthier, stronger, and wiser than all the other young men. The king was astonished. That day, the kingdom learned a powerful truth: faithfulness brings favor. Nebuchadnezzar, the mighty ruler of Babylon, awoke in a cold sweat. A dream, terrible and magnificent, had vanished from his mind, leaving only a haunting echo of fear. He summoned his mystics and sorcerers. "A dream has troubled my spirit," he thundered, his voice shaking the throne room. But he would not reveal it. "You must tell me my dream and its meaning, or you will be torn limb from limb." Terror filled the hall. Babylon's wisest men trembled. "O king, live forever," they pleaded. "What you ask is impossible." "No man on earth can do this!" The king's fury grew. The decree was sealed. But Daniel, a captive of Israel, heard of the impending doom. He went before the king with a quiet strength. "Do not destroy the wise men," he said calmly. "Give me but one night. The God of heaven will reveal the mystery." That night, as Daniel prayed, the skies of his mind opened. In a holy vision, he saw it all. A colossal statue, its head of brilliant gold, its chest and arms of gleaming silver, its belly and thighs of polished bronze. Its legs were of unyielding iron, but its feet were a fragile mix of iron and clay. Then a stone cut without hands struck the statue on its fragile feet. The entire figure crumbled into dust, blown away by the wind. But the stone that struck it grew into a great mountain that filled the whole earth. Daniel stood before the king once more and declared the dream. Nebuchadnezzar's face went pale with recognition. "You, O king, are the head of gold," Daniel proclaimed boldly. "But after you, other kingdoms will rise and fall. But in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed. It is an eternal kingdom." Nebuchadnezzar, the most powerful man on earth, fell on his face. "Surely," he whispered, "your God is the God of gods." Years passed. A new king, Belshazzar, sat on the throne of Babylon, his heart swollen with pride and arrogance. He held a great feast for 1,000 of his lords, and as the wine flowed, he committed an act of ultimate defiance. "Bring the sacred cups," he commanded, "the ones my father Nebuchadnezzar took from the temple in Jerusalem." They brought the holy vessels, and the king, his nobles, and his wives drank from them, praising their gods of gold, silver, and stone. As drunken laughter echoed through the grand hall, it suddenly died. A hush fell. Out of thin air, the fingers of a man's hand appeared. In the stunned silence, the hand began to write on the palace wall, its letters glowing like fire. "Many, many tekel parsin." The king's face turned white with terror. His legs gave way, his mind reeling. He shrieked for his magicians and sorcerers, but they stood powerless, their wisdom turning to foolishness before the divine script. Then the Queen Mother spoke. "There is a man in your kingdom who has the spirit of the holy God, Daniel." The old prophet was summoned. He stood before the terrified king, his eyes not with fear but with a holy fire. He looked not at the writing but at the king. "You have not humbled your heart," Daniel declared. "You have lifted yourself up against the Lord of heaven." Then he turned to the wall. "This is the interpretation. Many. God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Tekel. You have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Parsin. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. That very night the enemy breached the walls of Babylon. King Belshazzar was slain and his empire collapsed into dust. The prophecy came true exactly as Daniel said. Kings and kingdoms rise and fall, but the one who stands with God endures forever. In the mighty Persian Empire under King Darius, the aged prophet Daniel was promoted above all others. His wisdom was unmatched, his spirit excellent. But his greatness ignited a burning jealousy in the hearts of wicked officials who served beside him. They searched for fault in Daniel but found none. "We will find no charge against this Daniel," they schemed, "unless we find it against him concerning the law of his God." With cunning flattery, they approached the king. "O King Darius, live forever," they began. "We have all agreed to establish a royal statute that whoever petitions any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions." The king, pleased by their show of loyalty, signed the decree, sealing it as the unchangeable law of the land. Daniel knew the law had been signed, but he did not fear and he did not hide. He went to his home, and in his upper room, with his windows wide open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. The conspirators assembled and stormed his house, finding him in the very act of prayer. They dragged him before the king, their voices dripping with malice. "Did you not sign a decree?" they demanded. The king's heart sank as he understood the trap. He was deeply distressed and labored all day to find a way to save Daniel, but the law could not be revoked. With a heavy heart he commanded, "Take him." As they led Daniel away, the king whispered, "Your God, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you." They cast him into the den of lions. A great stone was rolled over the entrance. Through the long, dark night, growls echoed, but among them was another sound, the sound of prayer. At the first light of dawn, the sleepless king rushed to the den. "Daniel," he cried out, his voice full of anguish, "servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions?" Then a calm voice answered from the darkness, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths, so that they have not hurt me." Joy erupted on the king's face. Daniel was lifted from the den, completely unharmed. Then, fueled by righteous fury, the king commanded that the men who had accused Daniel be cast into the den. The lions, no longer restrained, overpowered them in an instant. King Darius then wrote a new decree to all the nations of his empire, that all should tremble in fear before the God of Daniel. Daniel, now an old man, had served kings and witnessed the fall of empires, but his greatest work was not yet finished. One night the Lord pulled back the veil of time, granting him a vision that shook him to his core. He saw the turbulent sea of humanity, and from it rose 4 great beasts, each more terrible than the last, symbols of the proud, violent kingdoms that would rule the earth. Then the scene shifted to the heavens. He saw the Ancient of Days, his throne of fiery flame, and thousands upon thousands ministering to him. Judgment was set, and the beasts had their dominion taken away. And then, riding on the clouds of heaven, came one like a son of man. He was given everlasting dominion, glory, and a kingdom that shall not pass away. Daniel awoke, his spirit troubled, his body drained. The weight of the future pressed upon him. Yet he took up his scroll and wrote it all down, a final, urgent message for all who would come after. His entire life had been a testament to this truth. He stood firm in his youth, rejecting a king's defilements. He spoke divine truth to the proudest of monarchs. He survived the den of lions through unwavering faith. He saw the rise and fall of nations, but above all, through political turmoil, deadly plots, and the loneliness of exile, he never compromised, he never bent, he never broke his covenant with God. As Daniel, the faithful servant, closed his eyes for the last time, he did so with the peace of one who knows the end of the story. His life's purpose was complete, and his own words echoed into eternity. Those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness, like the stars forever and ever. Subscribe, like, and share for more of these exciting stories. Don't forget to comment